Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Mike's DVDs and Blu-rays collection. I am your host, Mike. Thank you guys for coming back and checking out my videos and parts of my collection. I've done a few videos now on Joseph von Sternberg, covering his career from silent days to his peak in Hollywood, working with Marlene Dietrich. So this is Criterion. The Criterion collection did two different box sets of his. First one was 3 silent films by Joseph von Sternberg, and this one that I want to talk about. Now, also, I believe Indicator put out a similar one for the UK and for Europe and the Region B, which was I think it was Sternberg and Dietrich in Hollywood, or something similar to that. But this is the one I'm going to talk about today. This is Criterion's version. This is Dietrich and von Sternberg in Hollywood. I guess what I just said. So it has 6 movies that they worked together on from 1930 to 1935. And these are new 2K and 4K restorations of all 6 films. This has got interviews. It's got what's really interesting is Joseph von Sternberg's son does an interview, Nicholas, and he's like a really good photographer in his own right. It's got a lot of different stuff on there. It's got a lot of great. They kind of cover up and down all over. The fashion of Dietrich, the look of Sternberg's films and everything, but yeah, it's loaded with special features on here. But the movies that's covered on here is 1930s Morocco, which is really this is the best I've ever seen Morocco look. It's famous for having Gary Cooper in it. 1931's Dishonored, which is a movie I don't think gets seen enough, and it's rarely seen, really. I may have caught it on TV long time ago. It's also got the Shanghai Express, which is one of their most famous pairings that they worked on together. Also Blonde Venus, which is a personal favorite. The Scarlet Empress, which is just a wall-to-wall beautiful movie. It's just great, from 1934. And then finally, their last team up, 1935's The Devil is a Woman, which is before I got this set, I had never seen that one, and I never really properly saw Dishonored. I believe I saw it on TV a long time ago, but I could not remember it. So this was really a great box to invest in. For some reason, I got the DVD back then. Maybe it was cheaper. Maybe I was on a budget that week. I don't know what was going on. But it is available on Blu-ray, and I do recommend getting the Blu-ray just to have the most pristine picture possible. But this DVD edition looks really, really good, I must say. So let's go through some of those movies, and I'll show you these movies, shall I? Let me put them in order like some cards here. That goes here. That goes there. That goes here. Anyways, they're not in order. But anyways, the booklet. God, how many pages is this? It comes with this really thick booklet here. It's really nice. Criterion always does pretty decent booklets for their box sets, and this is really great. It's got a lot of great photos. It's got some essays by like Imogene Sarah Smith. Some great stuff here. How many? Okay, it's an 82 page booklet. Really nice. I'll show some pictures of this as we watch these videos. Talk about these videos. Anyways, this is the first one, 1930s Morocco. Really cool. I really like how they really use these photos to really show off how well they looked, and Dietrich was famously loved the key light, which was a light just basically focusing on the face. It was kind of like a key light. There's different lighting techniques, and once she found the certain lighting techniques and stuff, she pretty much stayed with those types of light throughout her career and stuff. So she learned a lot about creating her own image also. And Joseph von Sternberg worked with with the cinematographers to create this image of this beautiful woman and in these situations. But yeah, this has got a lot of interviews on this disc as extras. It's got Janet Bergstrom does an interview. A lot of stuff. There's a lot more extras in this set than on the 3 silent movies from Sternberg that Criterion previously put out. But this is really good. Rewatching this was real eye-opening because I had seen it a few times over the years, and it's been a very long time since I last saw it. So when I first put it on and watched it, I was like, man, this looks great. It really does. It just looks so good. Gary Cooper's great in this. One of his first really big roles that he was in that made him start, building his legend, as an actor. So yeah, it's got Morocco. And then we talk about 1931's Dishonored, which she plays she's recruited for Austria during World War I as a spy. Her spy name is X-27, which is kind of cool. And around the same time, in 1931, Greta Garbo did a kind of a spy type movie called Marta Hari, which is kind of, I always remember that because they were both 1931 and they're both like this elusive, exotic star, Greta Garbo from Sweden and Dietrich from Germany. That must have been really something back to audiences back in those days of how exotic these people were, But yeah, she plays a spy in this movie. It's also got Victor McLaglen in it. And really cool. It's 91 minutes and very atmospheric. It's kind of a World War I spy type movie and stuff with really cool. So yeah, this is a movie I want to rewatch again soon because it's been a while. I haven't seen it as many times as some of these other ones. Now this one I remember. This may have been the very. This had to be the first Sternberg Dietrich movie I had ever seen. Definitely, probably this is probably my first Marlene Dietrich movie I ever seen. Back probably 1991 or something. Showtime and the Movie Channel and stuff like that would show old movies, like a lot of the old Paramounts, a lot of the old Universal movies, and they would come on really early in the movie. Or early in the morning, and I would program my VCR, my parents' VCR, to record these things. And a lot of times I would catch some of it before I had to go to school. But I remember this being on there, and this was such a strange movie. I had only read about it in books and saw different stills and stuff. I mean, this one has a gorilla in it, and Marlene Dietrich wears this huge white wig. This one is 1932's Blonde Venus, and probably out of all 6 of these movies, this one really kind of stands out, and I think a lot of people talk about this one still. I mean, Morocco had the famous where she comes out dressed as a man in a tuxedo and stuff, which was pushing gender things at that time, and she was an innovator, so to speak, with that stuff. So with this, it's got some similar racy elements and stuff. Blonde Venus is both a glittering spectacle and a sweeping melodrama about motherly devotion. Unfolding episodically, the film tells the story of Helen, once a German chanteuse, now an American housewife, who returns to the stage after her husband, played by Herbert Marshall, falls ill. She has to get a job to try to raise money for his surgery that's going to be very expensive. She then becomes the mistress of a millionaire, played by Cary Grant, in one of his early roles in a slide from loving martyr to dishonored woman. Despite production difficulties courtesy of the Hayes office, the director's Baroque visual style shines, as do one of the most memorable musical numbers in all of cinema, and a parade of visionary costumes by von Sternberg and Dietrich's longtime collaborator Travis Banton. She plays she becomes a singer. In this thing, she falls in love with him. She's thinking her husband's going to die. It has a lot of back and forth with their son, and he basically tracks her down to it basically shows her from being really good to just sinking to the very bottom, which she had good intentions to start with, but she becomes a fallen woman in the process. But yeah, Blonde Venus, very, very good movie. It's always worth a look. Worth a spin. Next up, this is 1934's Shanghai Express. I watched this just recently again. It co-stars the lovely Anna May Wong, which she was just a legend in actresses, Asian actresses, and putting Asian actors and actresses out on the screen in a positive role, where they're not just a maidservant or a what do you call it, subservient Chinese roles that were pretty common back then and stuff. And he really shows off her beauty and everything. This also has Clive Brook in it. Warner Olin plays a Chinese warlord, and very beautiful movie. Kind of takes place on a train that basically gets Shanghai. Basically, the army captures everybody. It takes place during war-torn China. And it basically, it has all the different motley crew of people, all the different lowlifes to, well-to-do folk, and everybody in between all kind of mixes on this train. I wouldn't say it's quite like Grand Hotel in a train. It's a little better than that. Maybe not as well written as Grand Hotel, but very, very, very good. This is a good movie. This has an interview with Hominy King, who wrote a book about Lost in Translation, Orientalism, Cinema, and the Enigmatic Signifier. She wrote a book about basically Asian actors and actresses in the history of cinema, especially in the early part and everything. So it's a fascinating. She does an interview on this. That's what I'm talking about, the interview, and very, very cool. 82 minutes. It's not super long. I mean, and it's visually, as always, breathtaking. Next up, this is from 1934 also. This is called The Scarlet Empress. And this is a movie that it's a Marlene Dietrich stars in Joseph von Sternberg's feverishly debauched biopic as the spoiled princess Sophia Frederica, who grows up being groomed for greatness and yearning for a handsome husband. But sent to Russia to marry the Grand Duke Peter, she's horrified to discover that her betrothed is a half-wit, and her new home a macabre palace where depravity rules. Before long, however, she is initiated into the sadistic power politics that govern the court, paving the way for her transformation into the imperious libertine Catherine the Great. A lavish spectacle in which von Sternberg unparalleled visual genius reaches new heights of florid extravagance. Scarlet Empress is a perversely erotic portrait of a woman and a movie star capable of bringing legions to heel. I would not say it even. They said it better than I would. And that's great. But this movie's a little longer than other ones. It's 104 minutes. But yeah, it really does. You get to see her transform into this person. And it's weird. The half wit that she talks about is he was in Gunga Din, and he was also in the Asphalt Jungle. God, what's his name? What's his name? When you see his face, you'll recognize him. But anyways, The Scarlet Empress is really amazing movie. Pretty cool. And finally, guys, this is the last movie. This is the one they ended their team, their collaboration together, sadly. But basically, you know, it was kind of running out of steam. I mean, there's not much more that I don't think von Sternberg could have brought Dietrich up any higher. By then, she was a well-known star, and you know, and everything. So, but Joseph von Sternberg, this is the Devil is a Woman, and Joseph von Sternberg and Marlene Dietrich went out with a bang in their final film together. The Devil is a Woman, a surreal tale of erotic passion and danger set amid the tumultuous carnival in turn-of-the-century Spain. I couldn't read that for a second. Through a series of flashbacks, Captain Cassoulet, played by Lionel Atwell, which he's pretty good in this movie. He always, you know, he played a lot of cool roles throughout the 30s and stuff, and he's pretty cool in this movie. Recounts the young Antonio Gavin, played by Cesar Romero, the story of his harrowing affair with the notorious seductress Concha Perez, played by Dietrich, warning his listener to grid himself against her charms. Despite his counsel, Gavin falls under Concha's spell, leading to a violent denouncement. Ever the ornate visual stylist, von Sternberg evokes Spanish culture with a touch of luridly fantastic, further elevated by Travis Banton's opulent costume design and award-winning cinematography by Sternberg himself. That's right. He gets his own credit on there as directed by and photographed by Joseph von Sternberg. I mean, he was a real control freak, let's just put it that way. But yeah, Devil's a Woman, really good. Visually just eye-popping and everything, and pretty decent story. I mean, like it says, Lionel Atwell basically sits down and tells the young Cesar Romero, you know, don't fall in love with this woman. I've been there, you know, I fell for her, this is what happened, and it's kind of like, yeah, you're not going to listen, you're going to do it, you're going to find out and everything. So it's one of those, it's a tale like that, and it's really good. It's not as good as the other 5 movies they did, you know, sound films together, but really good. So I do highly recommend that box set. I mean, the supplements alone are worth it and everything, and you can probably find a pretty good deal on this, or even used at this point on eBay, because it's been out for some years now. But also, I think Indicator has their own version of a box set of it, and it's probably got similar supplements, but probably some different ones too. So depending on how much of a fan you are of Sternberg and Dietrich, you know, you may just want both sets. Who knows? But I have the Criterion right now, so it's satisfying me. So awesome. So, anyways, guys, let me know what you think about this. This is like my 3rd video on some of the Joseph von Sternberg movies and stuff. Let me know what you think about this set. If you have it, what do you think about it? Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Check out those other videos I've been talking about. And give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. So thank you for spending this little bit of time with me on this. I do appreciate it. So until next time, guys, I'm Mike. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you later.